All right, let's go. I'm going to try to find the timestamp here. We're going to go to a question being asked of Jon Moxley by a child reporter who's been in the room the whole day with all this cursing and everything going on.
What? A child reporter? What?
Yeah, apparently there's a kid who does something. I'm not going to put him down for this. There's nothing wrong with that. Who reports on wrestling.
Wait a minute. What was that word salad? There's apparently a kid that does something.
Because you immediately act like you're ready to put it down, the idea that they have a kid at this thing. Do you think it's inherently wrong?
Well, I can't see that. Is he 16 or is he fucking 5? I mean, there's
something.
There's grades there.
Yeah, there's stuff in between. But let's hear some audio. A question being asked of Jon Moxley out there with his bloody head and his belt, and Tony Khan as they both drink their non-alcoholic beer. Let's go to this question.
First off, my name's AJ from the AJ Awesome Show.
Yeah, you
are. With the Blackpool Combat Club having new member after new member like Wheeler Yuta and Claudio, how has it affected your career in a positive way or a negative way to have more people surrounding you?
Let me stop right there. A fine question.
I think they need to hire the kid to do the YouTube show. He sounds more manly than most of their fucking talent.
You know, they should have him replace Marvez.
He sounds more natural than our Officer Bar Brady.
And the wrestlers will seem like giants. Isn't that what you want?
Yeah.
Let's go to Moxley's answer about the Blackpool Combat Club.
Oh, it's the best thing, man. Like, that's another thing that's just like, this Blackpool Combat Club came together at just like this perfect time, and it's just so good for me, and like, it just fits so perfectly. And like, for instance, Claudio, I mean, it wasn't even a question of like he's basically already, because it's a real thing, you know, it's not this act we're putting on, you know, he's a real student of Regal, and he's a real training partner of mine, former training partner for years. We were in developmental together. We traveled together a lot. I said like, hey, you know, I said something once about like, hey, we gotta bleed together if you're gonna be on my team. I wrestled Claudio a million times. I have busted him open on multiple occasions. You can go back and watch that shit on Peacock. I knocked his fucking teeth right down his throat. He wore adult braces for 2 years, you know? So we've been there. We've been down the road together, you know? I mean, he's like legitimately like part of the group, and like to have that, like,
oh my God, can somebody shut him up?
Why? What do you have against what he's saying here?
Would he get to a point? He's got a point there, but if he combs his hair right, nobody will notice it.
Well, so far, the point appears to be that he likes having these guys around him. The Blackpool Combat Club is good for him. He really is happy to do this, and it's real. Him and Claudio really are partners and students of Regal, so that's why it makes sense. Let's hear maybe.
And also, he's revealed that he's such a polished worker that he knocked fucking Claudio's teeth out.
Well, maybe it'll all come together. Let's hear what he says.
I feel like right now is also like a jumping off point. Like this feels like the baseline I've been trying to get to, what I've been picturing in my mind for like 3 years. And it's all starting to kind of become a reality. And I'm like, man, this is like, so here's the baseline starting off point. Like, imagine how good we could get. And I'm surrounded by guys, you know, I love to train. I love to learn. I love to get better. Try stuff out. I love helping other guys too, you know, so I have Wheeler as like a young guy who's more talented than me to use my brain and experience and try to help him get better. And he's a great dude. Otherwise he wouldn't be in the group either. We don't let assholes in the group. And, to have a dude like that, to be able to help him, but also have him push me, cause he's, you know, young and hungry and, all that, but also like to have Regal, who doesn't let anything slide. If I talked to him after this match, he had like 2 or 3 little things that I could have done better, you know? No congratulations or whatever. No, hey, way to win the belt. No, it was like, you know, you could have done like 3 or 4 things. But I like that. I want, you know, I get plenty of congratulations. I don't need that shit. I need help getting better.
Let me stop it there for a second. What do you think about what he's
Please.
saying here?
I don't know what he's fucking saying. He's as goddamn exciting to listen to as he is to watch.
Well, Wheeler Yuta's a very talented guy with more talent than Moxley, and he's a good guy. Otherwise, he wouldn't be in the group. They don't allow assholes in the group. What do you think of that?
I can't argue with anybody being better than Moxley. I think they all are. And I'm happy that none of them are assholes. That, both these things can be true. They cannot be assholes and be rotten wrestlers all at the same time.
And William Regal's still critiquing and picking apart his matches, even when...
And boy, apparently he just ain't listening.
Well, let's hear what else he says here.
And so he doesn't let anything slide, and he keeps me sharp and helps me get better. And having Claudio and Brian, who are like two of the greatest, Brian, in my book, Bryan Danielson is the greatest. People say like Tanahashi's one of the greatest ever, and Jericho's the GOAT, and we say all this. Just for my money, in my opinion, the greatest professional wrestler to ever live, to ever do it in the ring is Bryan Danielson, and it's crazy because he's my partner. I get to like tag team with him, and also he's one of my favorite wrestlers ever. Like my legit. Like on my top list of like 2 or 3, 4, whatever, like he's in that group of like, oh, my favorite wrestlers to watch ever. And it's almost like there's like one of my favorite wrestlers to watch, Bryan Danielson, who's like right up there with my all-time favorites, like Bret Hart and stuff. And then there's like Brian, my friend, who's like all eco-friendly and shit, he's like a good father and all this, and we have similar interests and we talk and whatever. That's almost like 2 separate people, and sometimes I gotta like pinch myself out there. Like I get to team with one of my favorite wrestlers, like of all time.
Let me stop it.
What time of day is that there after this 5-hour show and he's out there droning on about his Mutual Admiration Society? Now I understand that listening to him speak is as exciting as watching him wrestle.
Yeah, I'm not going to play any more Moxley audio, but
Please don't.
What do you think about the idea that Danielson's the greatest wrestler of all time?
Well, sooner or later, even a blind squirrel will find a nut. So sooner or later, Moxley actually says something that's remotely correct or plausible, or I would definitely think he's in a conversation. We've talked about it. He was doing great work until they fucking yanked him out of being a single and put him in with the goddamn plumber.